would take 1,000,000 letters to tell you all there is to tell about Britain. I've got some leave coming along, so I'll be able to see more of England.
In some ways, except that I miss you so much, I don't feel as though I were 3,000 miles from home. People here are much more like us than you'd think.
Dearest Joan, every time I write to you, I wish you were here so that I could show you everything I write about. I wish you could see all the places and things in England that we've seen during our stay here.
You should have seen us learning to drive trains up in an industrial district near Leeds when we were getting ready to drive these narrow track trains on the continent.
Edinburgh was well worth seeing, and some of the guys from our ship did a round trip of the town.
You would have liked Cambridge, where I took my university leave course.
I wish you could see the South Wales Harbour where I'm on maintenance, servicing the Sunderland. Maybe you will see that harbour one day. But if only you could see it now, with the old crate coming out of the water. And I bet we're all saying, I wish you could see London.
Yes, Governor. Can you direct me to Piccadilly Circus, please? Up the Mall, turn left by St James's Palace, bear left, go straight up at the top, turn right, you can't miss it.
You can't miss it, huh? You can't miss it.
Pardon me, sir. Could you direct me to Piccadilly Circus, please?
Yes, of course. Straight along up there, then turn right. You can't miss it.
Thank you very much. Come on, Fred. Pardon me, miss. Am I going right for Piccadilly Circus?
Yes. Take a bus at the top and ask for the circus. You can't miss it.
Thank you very much.
Hold tight there, please. Hold tight.
Watkins, Mr. Bird. Calling Major Watkins. Hey.
Hey, there he is, Pierre.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Displace. Hello, Displace yourself. It's about time you chaps got here.
Hey, listen to this guy. He's really happy to see us, isn't he? You know, we're dead on time.
Well, he's too busy writing to that wife of his. He doesn't even know what time it is.
Anyway, let's have a drink.
Good. Hey, that's a good idea. Say, Bob, about that wife of yours. Why don't you bring her over here and let her see everything for herself?
I'd like that. I've just been telling her I'd like to show her London. I'd like to take her down to Sussex, where we used to do our battle training. I'd show her Whiston House. It's an old Tudor mansion. We used to have our divisional headquarters down there. There was a family church in the grounds that was also the parish church. When we were at Whiston, they still held services there. I'll always remember how the church bell used to wake us up early on Sunday morning. When I do bring my wife back, I'd want to take her up to the Sussex Downs where our battle training took place. I'd take her across the Downs to Chanctonbury Ring, the old Roman defense point where we Canadians came to help defend Britain from another invasion in 1940. 5 Canadian divisions trained in those Sussex Downs before they went to Europe. And long after D-Day, the boys who were left at Whiston tell me they used to run up there in a Jeep just to take a look at the scene. It kind of gets you up there, the quiet and the loveliness of it all, though we remember it when it didn't sound so peaceful. When I go back with my wife, it'll be very, very quiet again. And she'll agree with me, it kind of gets you.
Oh, sprouts again. Well, where do you suppose they get them all?
Brother, now you know you're in England.
Yes, gentlemen, what can I get for you?
Soup? 3 soup, waiter. Roast lamb. What do you suggest, waiter?
I can recommend the roast lamb, sir. It's very nice.
Can't go wrong on roast lamb. 3.
3 lambs, sir.
And 3 lagers.
Oh, big lagers, please.
Large ones, sir. Thank you.
You know, this business about telling the folks back home about this country, letters aren't much good. I've never really been able to tell June what it's like, coming back to Northern Ireland in a group of escort ships. When we're still out at sea, just a half a day from Londonderry, we're thinking about leave, if we're lucky. And when we see the Skerries, we know we're near the mouth of the Foyle.
Skerries? What would they be, Bill?
Well, they're a bunch of islands that fit in with the Irish character Finn McCool. The legend says he built the Giant's Causeway as a stepping stone to Scotland to carry off a fair Scottish princess, and then he nipped back across those islands. Just beyond the Skerries, we get the signal to detach and proceed to Londonderry. Then our ship detaches from the rest of the group, and we make our way towards Londonderry, and we hope several days' leave. That is, if we don't have to stand by at Derry, ready to go straight back on another convoy trip. On the way, we have to stop at a point off Lissahallie to pick up the Irish pilot who takes us up the Foyle to the jetties. Steer 257?
Steer 257.
After seeing nothing but endless miles of sea and perhaps a pretty tough trip, it means a lot to see the Donegal Mountains. More often than not, they're half hidden in cloud, but they're there as we come up the Foyle, and the coast of Ireland is there in that strange, soft light. And as we pass the friendly-looking houses with their lawns sloping down to the water's edge, most of us think of the Irish friends we've made.
We sailed quite close to Boom Hall, where the Canadian and English Wrens live. Boom Hall is where the boom was stretched across the river to keep out the relief ships in the siege of Derry in 1668. The Rising Sun is probably what the boys are thinking of by then. That's a famous little pub 6 miles out of Derry where they paddle out to spend an evening. You know, it's true that the country is greener in Ireland than anywhere else. Maybe we see it an exaggerated picture, but after all that gray, I don't think so. Letters can't describe what it's like coming into Derry when we reach the harbor, with all the activity of tying up at the quay and all the boys light-hearted about their leave. I think when I bring June over in a passenger ship, I shall still hear the bosun piping leave.
Leave for red and blue watches from 1700 hours to...
Most Irish towns have a diamond square. Londonderry has one with a war memorial in the center. The boys generally meet there when they're going on a trip out of town. And the life-size soldier on the memorial has a bayonet that mysteriously gets bent overnight. The boys do a lot of their local sightseeing in one of Alfie Kelly's jaunting carts. It's a queer sort of transportation, but we rather like it, even in the rain. I hope Paddy won't have grown up when we come back to Derry. For a penny, Paddy will sing you one Irish song, and he takes an awful big breath to do it. How about a little song, Paddy?
Will you pardon me, stranger? I know you're from Ireland. Ireland, my homeland, that green emerald isle. Sure, I'm thinking that someday you'll go back to Ireland. If you do, can I say these few words with a smile?
Well, perhaps if Paddy is grown up by then, there will always be other Irish Paddys singing for pennies. I hope so, anyway.
Have you seen that Giant's Causeway you were talking about, Bill?
Yes, I certainly have. And I've often made a wish at the wishing well. There's quite a character of an old Irish guide who takes you along to make your wish. If it's good luck you're after, he says, you must first dip your foot in the water and then take a drink of it. And when he says that, you have to go right down and put your face in it. 3 times, he tells you. Well, I always make the same wish, but they say you mustn't tell it to anyone or it won't come true. It isn't only Paddy who sings Irish songs. We've picked up quite a few of them ourselves. Somehow, I always feel like singing when I'm up on those hills.
The pale moon was rising above the green mountain. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea. When I strayed with my love to the pure crystal fountain that stands in the beautiful vale of Tralee, though lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet 'twas not her beauty alone that won me.
In the evening, more than likely, I'll be singing again when the group officers get together in the Allied Officers Club.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, that's pretty corny. It's pretty corny. Yeah. How about My Gal's a Corker, huh?
Boys around a drink, it's good.
Right, nice dark harmony. Good.
My gal's a corker, she's a New Yorker. I buy her everything to keep her enclosed. She drives my limousine, I buy her gasoline. Hey boys, that's where my money goes. My gal's a corker, she's a New Yorker. I buy her everything to keep her enclosed. She's got a pair of hips, a flag to battleship. Hey boys, that's where my money goes.
And when Bill had finished telling us about Northern Ireland, we went to look at some of the old familiar spots in London. Wherever you go in London these days, you see boys from all over the empire taking a last look at the familiar places before they go back home. Places that one day I shall bring you back to see.
Yes, we who live in Britain hope you will all come back and bring the folk you've been writing home to all these years. For something greater than victory has come out of the years of war. A closer friendship between the Empire and Great Britain. Because people like Bill and Bob and Pierre have found their way to our hearts for always.